Hello, my name is Dr. Joanne Hudson. I'm going to talk to you briefly about one of our first year modules that's compulsory for sport and exercise science and sport and exercise science with a year abroad. And this is SR144, Foundations of Exercise Science. In the module, and you can see from the curriculum from this year's programme, if you zoom in the middle of the slide, we cover physical activity and exercise issues within the general population. And so we look at patterns or physical activity epidemiology in relation to different demographic factors. We look at public health policy to try and address the challenges of increasing and maintaining physical activity across the section of different populations. We look at the factors that will influence physical activity determinants, and we look at the psychological outcomes of exercise. For example, well-being, managing anxiety, managing depression, the impact of exercise on our physical self-perceptions, and how those psychological factors can also inversely impact on our physical activity and exercise patterns. We also extend our look into clinical issues by looking at eating disorders and exercise dependence, and what we as exercise scientists can do to impact on those challenges there. So within the module, every week we have a 1-hour lecture, and each student attends a 2-hour workshop. We have a module site on our intranet, which is currently Blackboard. And this is a little snippet, which is a little bit small on the slide, but it gives you an idea of the materials that we put onto Blackboard every week to help support your learning. So we put the slides on beforehand, we put activities and such as readings to facilitate your independent study. We also provide video recaps that are brief and cover the key topics, the key ideas that we focus on in that week. So that helps you to consolidate what you really need to understand. And we also record as many of our lectures in full as we can and post these on Blackboard so that you can use them to check on your understanding, to recap on things that you weren't clear on, and also for revision. A little bit more about the workshops then. These are interactive and they take a different format each week depending on what's best for learning more about that topic, and they're really aimed at helping you to reinforce your learning from the lectures and also put that learning into practical and applied contexts. So we have virtual reality sessions in the module. We use case studies and critical discussions to help explore the different topics that we focus on. We include some practical activities such as looking at the effects of exercise on affective or emotional responses to exercise, and we also bring in exercise professionals. This year we had professionals from the Welsh National Exercise Referral Scheme and from Street Games, and they talk about how they use exercise science, and you think about how they can solve exercise science problems using the kind of knowledge that you've got, and it encourages you hopefully to think about careers that you might want to go into. So finally, just to say a little bit about the assessment, this year the module had 2 forms of assessment, an examination, which is 80% of the module mark, a formal exam with mostly multiple choice questions and some short answer text and labelling and drawing diagrams and so on. The final 20% of the module mark is made up of your students' performance on online quizzes, and this year they were 20%. They were assessed cumulatively to make up 20% of the module mark in weekly quizzes that we delivered in lectures or in seminars or workshops. My email address is joanne.hudson@swansea.ac.uk if you'd like to get in touch with me with any queries.